You know, I'm trying to get excited for this film. I really am, but every time they post something new, I just get more concerned. Like, I'm sorry, how can your first image, your first official image of the Flash movie, be not of the Flash logo or of the Flash suit, but of Michael Keaton's Batman suit? Like, what the hell? So The Flash is currently filming in the UK. I know, big surprise. A film that was supposed to come out in 2019 and has had multiple director's changes is finally being made. Like, that's crazy. They've got Andy Muschietti, the director of the previous two It films, which I enjoyed. Fun fact, I like It Chapter 2 more than It Chapter 1. I don't know why. Call me crazy. Like, I just preferred it more. I think maybe just because it had James McAvoy in it, and McAvoy is such a great actor and all that. I don't know, but I prefer It Chapter 2 over It Chapter 1. So this film has a good director involved, but at the same time, I'm very cautious and very skeptical whenever I see pieces of news about this film, because nothing about what I've heard about this film so far like screams to me, this is the definitive Flash film. Back at DC Fandom, when Christina Hodson was talking about the film, she was like, yes, we're doing a version of Flashpoint. It's a very great multiversal story. I'm like, whoa. Stop the brakes. Flashpoint isn't a multiversal story, it's a time travel tale. Yes, DC made a bunch of spin-off comics where Thomas Wayne was Batman and Martha Wayne was the Joker and all that, and they capitalized on the Flashpoint universe. But at the end of the day, Flashpoint is just a simple, straightforward time travel tale. Barry Allen runs back in time, saves his mother, wakes up in present day, only to find out that present day isn't as how he remembered its being. It's a dystopian future. He finds out that this is all a result of him saving his mother, so he runs back in time, stops himself from saving his mother, runs back to the present, and creates the New 52 universe. None of that is multiversal. Flashpoint is a time travel story, not a multiversal story. So every time I hear Andy Muschietti, Ezra Miller, Michael Keaton, anybody involved in this Flash film going, oh yes, this Flash tale, it's a big multiversal event, I'm like, what are you doing? Flashpoint isn't a multiversal story, it's a time travel tale. Like, yes, this is the world of comic book movies and adaptations, yes, but stop calling Flashpoint a multiversal story when it's not a multiversal story. My second concern is the limited amount of Flash stuff we've seen from this Flash film. Yes, we got a very tiny glimpse of the Flash costume, and overall, I think it looks pretty great. We haven't seen the full thing, it's just the logo and the textures and the concept art they showed at DC Fandom. Like, overall, it's a really cool classic rendition of the Flash. It's great, but also at the same time, aside from seeing a couple pictures of Ezra Miller as Barry Allen in a suit and wearing the Flash ring, that's sort of it. And speaking of the Flash ring, whilst it's a cool addition, I'm not gonna lie, I think the Flash ring is really dumb in the comics. Like, why the hell is Barry Allen, who is pretending to, have a secret identity, why would he have a ring with the Flash logo on it that keeps his costume inside it, when he literally can just change into his costume at, like, the speed of light? Like, why does the Flash ring even exist? It's so stupid. Like, I love it, don't get me wrong, I just think the overall concept of the Flash ring is just dumb. But yes, considering that this is a Flash film, and the way that Warner Brothers and the director and the people involved are, like, advertising it, they don't really seem to be highlighting this is the Flash. They just go, oh yeah, it's the Flash, and here's Michael Keaton's Batman and all that stuff. Like, we've seen more of Sasha Calle's Supergirl than we have Ezra Miller as Barry Allen. And now that I've mentioned it, the Supergirl suit looks good. Like, it's a nice rendition of a Supergirl costume, and I like that they've taken the texture of Henry Cavill's Superman suit and they've given it to her. I just hope that she is Henry Cavill's Superman's cousin. She is Kara Zor-El or whatever Supergirl they're doing. Like, I hope she is the cousin of Henry Cavill's Superman. And whilst the costume looks good, I'm kind of just a bit disappointed. Like, I thought we were going to get the classic look of Supergirl. And don't get me started on the Twitter arguments about Supergirl wearing a skirt. Like, those arguments on Twitter are just so dumb, where they're all just like, you only like Supergirl because she has a skirt and she's sexualized. I'm like, no, the Melissa Benoist Supergirl wore a skirt, and she looked fantastic for like 3 seasons until they changed the suit. And the suit she wears now is good, but, I mean, when she was wearing the classic Supergirl suit, it worked really well, and she wasn't sexualized at all. Like, when they announced Sasha Calle as Supergirl, I thought we were going to get the classic rendition of Kara Zor-El, blonde hair, skirt, it's Superman's cousin. I literally thought we were going to get the Supergirl suit from the CW, like, made so much better and put on the big screen. And instead we've got a different rendition of Supergirl, like Lara Kent or something like that. Like, I'm not too well versed in the Supergirl lore, but I mean, like, yeah, the costume is fine, I just thought we were going to get a more classic version of Supergirl. Like, when they cast Sasha Calle, I thought, oh yeah, that's cool, we're going to get a blonde-haired Supergirl, but we haven't, and it's fine, but it's like, I thought we were going to get blonde-haired Supergirl, because, I mean, if Ana de Armas could play Marilyn Monroe, then surely we should be able to get Sasha Calle, being blonde Kara Zor-El. But, I mean, I digress, like, it's not that big of a deal, like, she looks good as Supergirl, I just, prefer a more classic rendition of my superheroes, because that's how I've known them all my life. My next real concern regarding this film is of Michael Keaton's Batman. Now, I'm going to admit, I have not seen Tim Burton's Batman films. I know, shocker, me, like a geek, a Batman fan, hasn't seen the Tim Burton Batman films. Like, I do plan on watching them, I just haven't gotten to them. So when news of Michael Keaton appearing in this Flash film, like, surfaced on the internet, I was sort of just like, okay, why? Just bring in Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Thomas Wayne? Is Warner Brothers, like, that petty that they don't want to be associated with anything Zack Snyder did? Like, that's so weird, like, because apparently Michael Keaton's Batman is going to take the role of Thomas Wayne as, like, Barry's mentor in this multiversal tale. God's sake, just do Flashpoint. I'm not joking. Just do the Flashpoint story. And then on top of that, there's rumors that, like, by the end of the film, Michael Keaton's going to be, like, integrated into the DCEU universe, and he's going to be, like, the new Nick Fury. And then eventually they're going to make a Batman Beyond film where they either will do Terry McGinnis, or apparently they've been throwing around ideas of doing like a Batgirl Beyond where they bring in Barbara Gordon as the Batman Beyond character. Like, what are they doing? What is going on at DC? Like, Ben Affleck's Batman is in this film, and according to the director Andy Muschietti, he has a very impactful, heartfelt moment and is integral to the story of The Flash. And so I'm assuming, because this is a multiversal attempt on Flashpoint, by the end of the film, Ben Affleck's Batman is going to be replaced by Michael Keaton's Batman, which is going to suck. I hate it. It's such a dumb idea. Restore the Snyderverse. Like, I don't get it. Why are we bringing back Michael Keaton's Batman? Like, this just feels so weird to me. Like, what is the point? I mean, I know the point. It's nostalgia, using that as a weapon to market your film and get in older audiences to go come back and see Michael Keaton's Batman on the big screen. But it's like, why? Just tell me a good story. Like, if you want to tell me the Flashpoint story, tell me the Flashpoint story. Bring in Thomas Wayne, not Michael Keaton's Batman. You have Jeffrey Dean Morgan right there, the perfect casting for an older Thomas Wayne, a Flashpoint Thomas Wayne, and you're not going to use him, you're going to bring in Michael Keaton. Why? Speaking of the Snyderverse, there was a video that was leaked that I think is for the next DC fandom, like a little feature out on The Flash, and it's like, they use images and clips from Zack Snyder's Justice League and Justice League at the same time, so it's really confusing because, like, is Zack Snyder's Justice League canon? But if that's the case, and Sarnoff and all the people involved at Warner Brothers said that the Snyder Cut was a cul-de-sac. So why are you using clips from Zack Snyder's Justice League to promote the current DCEU? Like, what? Another reason why I'm not looking forward to this Flash film is that it's written by Christina Hodson. Now, don't get me wrong, Christina Hodson seems like an absolutely wonderful person. Like really lovely and genuine. Like, during that DC fandom panel when she was talking and, you know, giving all those facts about her and how she went to school with Robert Pattinson and all that, like, she seems genuinely lovely. But from the films that she has written, like Bumblebee and Birds of Prey, I just don't like her writing style. Bumblebee to me is hilarious because it's beloved, and I don't understand why, because it felt like a Michael Bay Transformers film, just without Michael Bay. Like, the action wasn't amazing or anything, and it still has that weird crass humor that, like, people really dislike, but for some reason, people like it in Bumblebee. Like, Bumblebee has the exact same crass humor, it's just done really badly. Like, the whole film overall gave me a massive vibe of this belongs on Nickelodeon. Like, the one real positive of Bumblebee was Haley Steinfeld, but that's just because it's Haley Steinfeld. She's, like, amazing. And then you get to Birds of Prey, which just, to me, I'm not a massive fan of. Like, it's fine, I think. Like, I remember leaving the cinema going, yeah, that was alright. But it's like, I didn't love it. To me, the way they wrote Harley Quinn just felt like knockoff Deadpool, and I'm like, why can't the movies ever get Harley Quinn right? Like, I get it now, Harley Quinn, due to the new HBO animated series and the way she's been done in the comics for the past couple of years, she's sort of become DC's female Deadpool, which is, like, fine, but to me, my interpretation of Harley Quinn is that, like, she's a very sort of tragic character. You know, she was this psychologist who wanted to help people, but then gets manipulated and, you know, turned insane by the Joker. But then she's also in this weird and twisted relationship with the Joker where he's really abusive towards her, but she still loves him. And then eventually, the way the story would sort of end is that she realizes that the Joker is a really bad person for her, and she realizes that she's addicted to him, and she teams up with Batman to take down the Joker because she knows that the Joker is a truly awful person. Like, at the end of the day, Harley Quinn is a very tragic character, but the way the film's doing her, she just seems like, oh, look at me, I'm female knockoff Deadpool. The way they treat Harley Quinn just feels very surface level, and, like, all they do is just use her to service the plot to get pretty colours on screen and make a couple of jokes. Like, just tell me rich stories with these incredible characters from the DC comics. Also, let's just not get into the fact that they named the film Birds of Prey, which was essentially a Harley Quinn film, and the Birds of Prey are, like, cameos in their own films. Like, it's ridiculous. So yeah, to conclude, I'm not really looking forward to this film because I don't particularly like the screenwriter's style. I don't really like the way they're marketing this film as this big multiversal story bringing in Michael Keaton's Batman for no reason other than pure nostalgia. The Flash feels like he's a side character in his own film, but just also at the end of the day, it just encapsulates everything that's wrong with DC at the minute. They're telling really surface level stories, bringing in nostalgia, trying to catch up to Marvel, when they don't even have a clear plan and direction. They're just making things and seeing what sticks at the wall. They're just throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks. Like, that's not how you devise a great plan for a cinematic universe. That's not what made Marvel so successful. Marvel was successful because they had a clear plan and a clear end goal. And right now it just seems like DC's just throwing everything at the wall and seeing what sticks. Like, that's not a great plan. And they just seem so transfixed at avoiding everything Snyder's done. Like, no more Henry Cavill, no more Ben Affleck as Batman. Just get everything Snyder did out of the room, repurpose it, and that's it. We're done with Snyder. And I don't understand why, because Snyder was the one who had a clear plan and vision for DC on film. I'm not trying to be a downer or ruin anybody's fun. Like, it's just that at this moment in time, I just feel like DC just doesn't know what they're doing. Under Snyder, they knew what they were doing. They had a clear plan and vision, but because studio executives panicked and they started to alter things and ruin things and, you know, just butcher Suicide Squad and Justice League, it's like they panicked and they ultimately just don't know how to recover from that panic. Like, aside from maybe Shazam 2 and Black Adam, in terms of DCEU content, those are the only two I'm looking forward to. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm over the moon and bloody excited for the Batman, but that's not DCEU. In terms of overall DCEU content, like Henry Cavill's Superman and Shazam and Wonder Woman and all that stuff, Shazam 2 and Black Adam are the only ones that I'm like, oh, I'm potentially interested in this. But yeah, just to wrap things up, DC just needs to figure out what the hell they're doing, because as of right now, I am not confident in the Flash film at all. But I could be wrong. Like, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Hit the notification bell down there. Social media links and stuff are all down in the description, so give those a look and a follow. And until we meet again, I'll see you guys next time.